Okay, hello YouTube. Uh, want to talk today about boxing. Uh, it's going to be a boring video. It's coming from an old man. Be bored, young boxer. Be bored. Slow down, listen, and let me tell you some things. Uh, there is more to boxing than going to the gym and training. What you do outside of the gym is by far the more encompassing, the more time taking, the more grueling portion of what should be your boxing training. If you find yourself squeaking out an extra 5 push-ups because you're in front of the team, uh, you're not motivated correctly. Your internal wiring is not correct. You got some internal adjustments you need to make. Boxing is a lonely sport. It's not a team sport. Generally, you guys have teams when you're in the amateurs. You may have people in your stable as a professional, but this ain't no damn team sport. Just not. You have to independently do and keep close to your vest some things that you do and don't show everybody that you're around. You need to, and especially if you're gonna be a championship amateur boxer, or gonna take that leap into the professional ranks as a professional boxer and be a professional champion boxer, you need to be working, and you don't have the majority of your work needs to take place outside of the gym. You got a flat area. You need to get in the middle of the living room floor, outside in the backyard, over at the park. You need to be doing 100 or 1,000 body weight squats. Squats just using your body weight. You need to be getting on the floor or the ground, and you need to be zipping out in sets 100, 200, 1,000 push-ups a day. A day. You need to be doing variants of 1, 200, 2,000 core work exercises, working your midsection, your back, dozens of things, jump rope work, running, sprinting. There's a lot of things you need to be doing if you're going to move on up in this, the only sport you don't play. This is not a team sport. You have teams, you have stable teams, and yeah, that's your team. But in the end of the scheme of it, the team is you. The team is you. And we are seeing, now I'm going to jump over here to the heavyweight division. We are seeing the auto correction in the heavyweight ranks of the weight coming down, of the size coming down. Heavyweight boxing was never about the giants being great. Never was. We had a leap in this when they took the championship rounds out of professional boxing. And the championship rounds are as defined: the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th rounds. We no longer have championship rounds in boxing. You had top 10 contender fights. They fought 12 rounds. See, they weren't championship fights. There's a lot of push coming from two organizations right now to push to get it sanctioned in different places in the world. That they're trying, and I believe they'll be successful for their heavyweight division, their championship fights going back to 15 rounds. And we need that back. That'll help autocorrect this heavyweight junk that we've been seeing for 15, 18 years now. And that's what it's been, a bunch of junk. And what you younger guys are seeing as classic great boxing is just junk as to yesteryear. And boxing used to be a sport where there would be improvements that would come through the decades. The 60s and 70s were great improvement decades where styles, they started doing different styles. And stylistically, one fighter would look totally different than the other fighter that would look totally different from the other one. And you don't see that today. You just don't see it. And stylistically, the thing I look at that I see that would be a big stylistic difference would be Bivol. And that's just an amateur boxing style. No more, no less. An old amateur boxing style that he has applied in the professional ranks. Not taking anything away from Bivol. Congrats to him. He did a great job. I thought he won that first fight with Beterbiev. But back on track here, it's what you do outside the gym that's going to make who you are in the ring. And you're not going to go to the gym, be motivated and think you've done something, and you're hot stuff. Oh, yeah, when I'm around them guys, I can do 5 or 10 more sit-ups, push-ups, this, that. I can go 1 more minute on the jump rope or whatever it is. You need to be shadow boxing outside the gym, round after round after round. You need to be in front of a mirror when you do this. You need to be doing rope work out to yin yang. You need to be running. You need to be doing push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and other types of calisthenics. I'll give you an example. My guys, your guys they run a mile. Oh yeah, I ran a mile. Maybe they feel good about that. Maybe they need to say, hey, I need to run 2 more. My guys will have floor crawled a damn mile before they start running. It's grueling. It's grueling. And that's what the sport of boxing is. You can't, you get motivated to do 5 or 10 extra of this or that, or 1 or 2 minute extra of this or that, because you're around a group of guys. You might want to think baseball, football, or basketball, or whatever, something like that. Boxing is a lonely sport. It is a solitary endeavor and a solitary art that only gets plural when the combat of it begins. You've got to be motivated to work on your own and independently. You have got to do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of push-ups a week. If you ain't doing a couple of hundred push-ups a day, and then you sit back and wonder, how come I hit this guy and then nothing's happening? And then the brain goes off to it must be because this guy's this, it must be because this guy's that, instead of on you. Push-ups are one of the greatest things. We do other things for strength, many other things. We've got a philosophy around and an area that is our strength. And we've had problems. We've had in the beginning, Joe, for example, I wasn't pushing him hard enough in the cardio and endurance areas, and he's gassed out a couple of times. Today he'll be the last damn guy to gas out. The last one. He's like a damn engine. He's like a one of those Cummins V10 engines. They just keep going. And it's took a lot of work to do all these things. Joe is 21-0. I've told you guys this time and time again. We can't find competition no more. He's not allowed in nowhere no more. And that's because he got on that 21-0 record, a couple of those were forfeits. So they were just, we'll kill the problem here. We're in Colombia, South America, by the way. We'll snip the problem for all the other guys. They won't have to fight Joe. He's too much. It's too much for amateur boxing. And, that's how they've curved that here. He's either knocked everyone out in the first or early in the second round, or the other guys forfeited. And it's not an easy thing for a kid to do. It's not a hard thing for a kid to do. You're looking over and you see a guy plant two other guys in the first round flat on their face, and they have to come over there. They don't use ammonia here. They use alcohol and get them woke up. And a kid sees that, I got an ankle problem. I sprained my ankle just a minute ago. I went to the bathroom and sprained my ankle coming out of the bathroom. I'm feeling fluish. I've got flu symptoms. And those are a couple of things that's happened with us. And I'm happy about that. Ain't nothing normal or ordinary going on with us. And we're a little braggadocious about it, and we'll continue to be so. When we get back to the U.S., I'm not expecting too much of a difference in that. And it's because of zero specialness. It's because of the motivation to do 1,000 push-ups in one day, to do 1,000 body weight squats in one day, to do all these planks a day, to jump rope 20 minutes, breathing just out of your nose, to get out here and run 2 miles, to get down and floor crawl a quarter, a half, or a mile, and things like that. And then the motivation to do some dumbbell work and to get on a squat machine and do some work there. Of course, that's not with a barbell, but if he doesn't have one of those leg push machines, he'll get right under a barbell and start doing traditional squats. The boy is like, I'm not going to lose on account of strength. And what we're seeing in boxing today is we're seeing people get knocked out, but not a lot of vicious ferociousness about it. And I'm talking professional ranks now. Uh, you see a guy get hit in the eye and quit. He's a champion today. Guy got hit in the damn eye and quit. That's not boxing, folks. That's not a good era of boxing. I hate to inform you of that. It's a cheapened era of boxing. We're seeing guys take body shots, flail down after 10 seconds. 12 seconds go by and they're up and fine. Go back and look at yesteryear's fights. You rarely saw people going down with a body punch. Very rarely. And I can assure you people that none of you are hitting more harder than they were hitting in the 60s or the 70s. I can assure you of that. And we just got to get the sport together. Got to get the sport together. Something is fundamentally wrong when the best boxing that went on yesterday, I'm not sure where the event took place. I believe it was in Iowa. But Zeke Castro and those teams that were there in their amateur fights, that being the best boxing. When you had the so-called, according to Dennis Rappaport, manager extraordinaire there, of Jerry Cooney and a lot of other professional boxers saying that, oh, it was the best card I've ever seen in my life. It was the best card ever assembled last night. Like, really? What's wrong with you? You got dementia, old man? He's older than me. You got dementia? What's going on with you? You kissing Saudi ass? What's going on with you, Mr. Rappaport? Don't buy into crap you hear like that. It was a good card. It was the greatest card maybe of the past couple of years or so. But the greatest card in world history? Nah. Let me tell you something. Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson have fought on the same card, ladies and gentlemen, with other names I just can't remember, slotted all through there that are very famous and in the Boxing Hall of Fame and considered the greatest fighters in the world. They've had cards in New York City that have way outdid that card. So we're lacking in strength in boxing. Push-ups is the big stand to. I'm seeing all this deadlift and hip lift stuff they're doing nowadays. They're saying, oh, this is for the strength. Get your ass down and do some push-ups. Get your ass down on the floor and do some sit-ups. Get down and do some good old-fashioned planks. Grab a damn jump rope. Get out here and run. Do floor crawls. Do headstands. Walk on your hands. Do body lifts with your neck. Do things like that. Muhammad Ali used to come out from a closed workout, sweating. He'd have a big old glass water thing. He'd say, "What'd you do? How much did you do today?" He said, "I did 2,794 calisthenics." He added the number up of everything, but then he'd tell you, "And I didn't start counting a damn one of them till it was hurting." You go look at Marvin Hagler. A lot of people, we nickname him Workhorse. There's a lot of guys you can look at. Ernie Shavers. I was friends with Ernie for years, God rest his soul. He relied on his strength and he didn't do as much running as he should have done. It showed. When you lack in something, it showed, and you'll lose because of it. I was fortunate enough to be under the tutelage of Ace Miller. to be around former WBA champion Big John Tate and some other guys. Got to spend some hours with a teenage Mike Tyson, uh, Kevin Rooney, Cus D'Amato. Teddy was already gone. Had Teddy been there, I would have been able to spend a little bit of time around him. And I've seen a lot of remarkable people, but I've seen, obviously, way more acquaintances that never really continued, that could have been great, or that just didn't make it because they were lacking something. You cannot go into professional boxing lacking on anything. And the two key areas where you can't is punching power and your cardio stability. You lack on those two things, you're not going to get nowhere, except eventually getting your ass beat once whoever they're hand picking for you the first 10 or 12 fights, and then you run up on somebody that's really there to fight, and you're going to find out what you're not made of and what you thought you were. So it's a lot of exciting guys coming up. Zeke Castro's coming up. We'll watch him like wildfire. One of Joe's things is like, oh, Dad, when we go back to the U.S., I want to be real close to him. I want him rubbing off on me. And that's a hell of a thing for somebody who's got the ability to be great himself, saying that about another amateur boxer. A hell of a damn thing. But he's the only one. He's the only one. See? And we watch a lot of the sport. So, but there's going to be some changes coming in the U.S. side of amateur boxing. A lot of you guys, you're around gyms, you're around people, and you don't get it. But a lot of those people ain't gonna be around no more. When it comes to start renewing documents and certificates and things of that nature that you have to have, they're not going to be renewed. Trump is fundamentally going to change Olympic sport, which is our amateur programs that are to compete in the amateur venues on the international level. It's all going to change. I'm not looking at anyone who was coaching in Boxing USA last year to Olympic coaching to be in these next Olympics. Not a one of them. They won't be there. Trust me on that, I guarantee you. People are... The real backboned men are getting sick of USA losing, and change is a-coming.